All right, so what if I told you that you could build a super powerful, really persuasive argument in just 20 seconds? It sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a marketing blueprint that does exactly that. And let me tell you, the psychological strategy behind it is just brilliant.
I mean, it really all boils down to that one challenge, doesn't it? How do you actually build a convincing argument in just 20 seconds? That's nothing. That's barely enough time to even register what you're seeing. But this blueprint, it gives us a really powerful answer. It shows us how to make every single second count.
Okay, so this whole strategy basically breaks down into 4 parts, and we're going to start with the most important one for sure, crafting that perfect hook. The thing that grabs the viewer's attention right away. Because, let's be real, if you don't nail those first 3 seconds, the other 17 are completely wasted.
So, check out how this ad opens up. It's not with some big sales pitch or a flashy graphic. Nope. It's with this really powerful quote from a sacred religious text. Now, from a psychological standpoint, this is pure genius. It taps right into something called the authority bias. You know that thing where we're just naturally wired to trust a message more when it comes from a source we see as an authority? It's a shortcut to instant credibility and a super deep cultural connection.
And then boom, right after that authoritative statement, it hits you with this super direct, super personal question. It's this brilliant emotional 1-2 punch, you know? The first line sets up a principle, but the second line, it forces you to look in the mirror and apply it to yourself. It creates this little moment of what's called cognitive dissonance, that uncomfortable feeling you get when your beliefs are challenged. And that's exactly what it's designed to do. Make you stop, make you think, and make you urgently want to find an answer.
Okay, so let's move on to the second part. And this is where the strategy gets really clever. Now that it's planted that seed of doubt in your mind, the ad defines a very specific modern problem, but it frames it as a matter of religious urgency.
So the technique they're using here is called a strategic reframe. It's a super powerful way of changing how you think about a problem to make a solution feel not just kind of helpful, but absolutely essential. Think of it like this, right? A gym isn't just selling you access to treadmills. It's selling you confidence, maybe a longer, healthier life. It's the same thing here. This ad isn't just selling a website, it's selling something much, much deeper.
And this slide just illustrates that reframe perfectly. So on one side, you've got the classic, traditional understanding of a strong believer. You know, it's all about faith and piety. But then, look at what the ad does. It boldly throws in this totally modern piece, a digital presence. Suddenly, strength isn't just faith and piety, it's faith, piety, plus being on Google. I mean, that is a huge, audacious leap to make.
And this is the line that just brings it all home. It's the bridge, right? It connects that powerful religious hook from the beginning to a very real, very modern commercial problem. It brilliantly links a core part of who you are, your faith, to a simple business need. And by doing that, the ad just elevates the whole thing. It's not a marketing problem anymore. Now, it's a question of your personal and spiritual integrity. Wow.
Okay, so just to recap, the ad has hooked you, it's created this urgent identity-based problem, so what's next? Well, here comes part 3 of the blueprint, presenting a super simple, super clear, and pretty much irresistible solution that's going to resolve all that tension it just built up.
And the logic here is just so clean and effective. It's a simple 1, 2, 3. First, it reminds you of the problem you're now worried about. You might be a weak believer if you're not online. Second, it gives you the clear, tangible fix. Get a professional website from us. And third, it gives you that crucial little nudge, the incentive to do it right now.
Now, the incentive isn't just some random discount. It's a 20% Ramadan special, and that is just so smart. Why? Because it ties the sales offer directly back to the cultural and religious context it's set up right at the beginning. It makes the whole thing feel timely and urgent, like it's part of this bigger moment. It makes the entire message just feel perfectly cohesive and authentic.
But look, a brilliant strategy is one thing. Execution is everything. So this final section is all about the details, the crucial little things that bring this blueprint to life and make the final ad look and feel polished, trustworthy, and totally professional.
And when I say precise, I mean it. This 20-second timeline is planned down to the second. The first 6 seconds, that's all for the hook. The next 6, defining the problem. And the final 8 seconds are for the solution and the call to action. Literally every single second has a job to do. There is absolutely no wasted space here.
The visuals are just as intentional. It's all about a clear Islamic theme, of course. Everything's in high-quality 4K. And notice, no people, just text and visuals to keep your focus locked on the message. The text itself has to be short, bold, easy to read,
You've got some subtle branding, and then it all leads to that one final clear call to action, the website.
Even the nitty-gritty technical details are crucial. The pacing, for example, is deliberately a little slow. They don't want to rush you. The visuals are synced up perfectly with the voiceover to really drive the message home. And they even use little audio cues, like a pop sound on the cuts, just to keep the rhythm going and hold your attention. These are not afterthoughts. They are absolutely essential parts of the whole persuasive package.
So, what's the big takeaway here? If you walk away with just one thing from this whole breakdown, let it be this. Connect a timeless cultural value. In this ad, it was religious strength to a really pressing modern problem, like needing an online presence. That connection is the core engine that drives this whole thing. It's what transforms a product from just a nice-to-have into an absolute must-have that's tied to your very identity.
And that really brings us to the final, most important question for you. This technique is incredibly versatile. It's not just about this one example. So think about it. What's a timeless cultural truth or value that really resonates with your audience, and how can you connect that to a modern problem they're facing right now? That is a really powerful question to think about.